Hello, and thank you for clicking on this video. So I wanted to ask you, are you like a child? Now, there's definitely different possibilities that be going through your head right now, different ways to look at it. But I want to bring this up because it is really important. And of course, our Lord Jesus Christ, he said, to enter the kingdom, you need to be humble like a child. Okay. And of course, there's world sayings, sayings of this world, like, bring out your inner child. And there's both positive and negative connotations with that saying, like there's also you're acting like a child, um, which, and I've talked about, the worldly phrase, in the big picture, some things don't matter. And I was talking about how everything does matter. Well, in the bigger scheme of things, the eternity scheme of things, really being childlike is, well, I don't know if I would say important, but we're all children. We're all children here. Doesn't matter what your physical age is, okay? We're all children. I mean, compared to the one who's always been and always will be, yeah, we're all children. Even our physical lifespans here, even if you go 100 years, is a blink of an eye compared to eternity, okay? So no matter what your physical age is, we're all children of God, okay? We're all creations of God. We're all children here learning, okay? And so I want to, definitely bring this up because as we grow older, sometimes it's usually painful things in some way, kind of takes that inner child out of us. And unfortunately, really, when it comes to the bigger scheme of things, really, children have a lot to teach adults, okay? And like our Lord Jesus Christ said, to enter the kingdom, you need to be humble like a child. And, do not hinder children, those who, forget the exact wording now, but it was something along the lines of, those who love children love me. Talking about Jesus said this, our Lord. So I want to bring this up though, because sometimes, we can really allow our egos to take more control over us. And you get stubborn. I'm definitely dealt with that in my life and still dealing with it in a way. I'm stubborn. Think you know it all. All those things that our ego really craves. Okay. Not being wrong, always being right. All those things that go really opposite of being humble. Okay. But let me tell you from my own experience, because I've dealt with this myself and I still deal with this, of course. When you allow your ego to take control, your spirit is not in control. There's either one or the other. Your ego, the flesh, the physical, or your spirit, okay? The eternal. And of course, what is eternal is real life. What is physical is death, because it's temporary. Eternal is for eternity. And there's always a struggle. That's really what that's our daily path, our daily walk, is to try to be love in every moment and live in the moment instead of being the lack of love. Okay. And, but you really need to be humble because, and I've mentioned this before, like when you think you already know it all, you close yourself off to any other truth that may benefit you. Okay. None of us know it all. Okay. None of us do. We are children. Okay. We don't know like the all-knowing knows, okay? The one who's always been and always will be, the Alpha and Omega, the Almighty, the Creator of all, the Father. I mean, what God, whatever you want to, whatever man-made label you want to put on God, um, the great I am that I am. We none of us know it all, and even so-called specialists that we title people here in this physical world, even they don't know it all. And the problem is a lot of times when they like our titles can feed our ego by the way people react to the titles or labels. That's why I say don't get caught up in man-made labels, don't get snared in man-made labels and titles. Because either you're feeding someone else's ego and then you're actually kind of putting some things on a pedestal that shouldn't be, or you're accepting that from others and you're kind of, and it feeds your ego, and it's harder to stay humble. Okay, so there's no blame here or judgment, or you're right or wrong or whatever. We're all on our own journey. We all have our own lessons to learn. We all have our own purpose. All of us have our own purpose. So, and there's no way I can know your purpose. I don't know what lessons you need to learn, but the Almighty does. And us ourselves need to try to keep ourselves humble. Okay, we're not going to succeed all the time, but when you keep yourself humble, you're open to truth, and truth is God. Okay, when you're riding your ego and you close yourself off to truth, you're closing yourself off to God. So it may feel good temporarily to boast and that sort of thing and take pride in yourself, but really you're hurting yourself, okay? Because that's the path to death. Because that's of the physical, that's of this world, which is death. But you try to humble yourself to keep in mind that the Almighty is the one who knows all, okay? And that you don't know more than God, okay? You don't know more than our Lord Jesus Christ, who conquered this world. None of us can conquer this world. We've all made mistakes. We've all acted from a place that was not love, okay? There either is or is not. There is no gray area. There's no excuses, okay? It's not easy. It's definitely not easy. But I wanted to bring this up. Are you like a kid? Like, do you try to be mindful to humble yourself? Because kids are absorbing a bunch of stuff, and unfortunately, the rulers of darkness use that innocence against them, just like it has been to us when we were younger. But it's important to even as you get older, and as this world can harden your heart, to try to stay humble, because you never know what you can learn, what truth you can learn next that literally changes everything. And for me, as you see, I'm a little older, okay? But that changes everything thing happened to me about 2.5, 3 years ago, okay? And I thank God. I thank God so much for the blessing, because he knows. I can't even convey it. So it's all because it's a personal relationship, but it's for you to experience your own gifts, your own blessings, your own purpose, okay? But to really be able to see, to have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, you need to humble yourself, because you don't know it all. And God is infinite, okay? Creation is really infinite from an infinite creator. And you'll never learn it all. Even after this physical life here, we're still going to learn. Still going to grow. Okay? We're still going to experience. So, anyways, it benefits you to humble yourself, is my point here. And try to remind yourself to be like a child. And there's some other parts to that too. Like, children can be just pure joyful at the simple things, be in awe of what we take for granted, like just nature, animals. Kids can, I've heard this phrase too, maybe at a playground, has never not met a friend. But through painful things and experiences in this world, it can harden our hearts to turn us off of that. And we call it that we're being mature, which actually we're kind of the opposite. We're not being mature. Because if you're mature, you would know that the Almighty has everything under control. It's all in His hands. There's nothing that's going to happen does not have an expected end that's good. And that's where the peace comes in. Because you don't fear, you don't worry, you don't doubt. You don't need to worry about schemes of men against you. Because He will send His angels to protect you. There's things happening that you have no awareness of. And you have to humble yourself really to understand that, okay? So anyways, I'm going to end this video here, but I wanted to bring this up because it really is, if you don't humble yourself right now, and it's painful, especially if you're kind of in this illusion that you're a specialist or you know it all, that you're always right, and all that illusion. The truth cuts like a sword, and it's painful because it's painful. It cuts up, it breaks illusions. And sometimes when you're living, your whole world is that illusion, your world crumbles. I've gone through that, and it's painful. So it's not easy, but it's important. And it's important for you, okay? And I can tell you this, but you have free will, and you have to experience and choose your own path, your own choices. Everyone has their own choices. But involve God. No matter what, involve God, because He is truth. And if you are involving God, He will lead you. If you're choosing God, He will lead you. And what that means is choosing to be truth, peace, love, joy, like in the moment, choosing that in the moment, being that, you desire that. If you choose that by desiring it, like your feelings are that, or your desires in your heart, the real feelings is you desire truth, love, peace, joy, all that stuff, and involve God. So anyways, again, I'm going to end this here, but thank you for watching. If you like the video, thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Ring-a-ding-a-ling that bell for notifications to let you know when I upload videos. And as always, stay strong and God bless.